Good morning, everyone. There we go. Welcome. So I feel very excited today. My name is Genevieve Marino, and I'm excited to join you all, the Glitter Goddess community, for a morning yoga class. I hope you have your cup of coffee, cup of tea, maybe some water. And we'll spend the next hour together really caring for our bodies and moving around different ways, experiencing different feelings and perspectives. If you've never taken a class with me before, welcome, and I'm excited to now start teaching in the morning. I usually teach in the evenings. Please feel free to do any modifications you feel are necessary. You are the expert of your body, and I'm just offering you suggestions. Oh, you are definitely not the only one who practices with coffee. I don't know what I would do, actually, if I didn't have coffee and I was trying to do yoga in the morning. So today will be fun and chill, and the class that I teach on Thursday evenings is like a challenge class, or like a push yourself class. So I even do poses that like I'm working on and still growing in. So if you want a more like high energy class, that's what I'm going to aim to make that one. And of course, the goddesses, we do these classes for free for the community, but we accept donations for both. I'm coming in from New York City, and the other goddesses, Matt, Trent, Ant, they're coming in from Providence, and any donations go to help both of those. So if you want to donate towards the New York City community, and it goes to people who are primarily people of color, people affected right now by the coronavirus. So I'm shouting out the Crown Heights Mutual Aid Group. It's a group of neighbors who go out and buy groceries and supplies for people who cannot, or maybe people who have lost income due to COVID-19. So that's the group that I'm shouting out. So if you want to Venmo us at the Glitter Goddesses, just make a note if you want to make it go towards New York City. All right, let's get started. I'll bring my coffee over with me. And I would, if you do want to have a prop, I'd love to have, this is just like a big couch blanket. It's nice to sit on, and we'll do some restorative things at the end, and you could roll up the blanket. You could also use like couch pillows and stuff like that. We're gonna get started in tabletop. And you want hands shoulder width apart. So you're gonna stack everything and make like a big rectangle. Hand underneath shoulder, left hand underneath left shoulder, and then my knees, actually they could be back a little bit. We want perpendicular. And we're gonna start to do some cat-cows here. But I want you to try and connect the breath to the movement. So it's kind of like the breath is initiating your movement. Your inhale brings you to that cow spine, and your exhale rounds into the cat spine. And it's early, maybe this is some of your first movements of the day. You can tuck and untuck the toes. But we're just gonna kind of wake up the spine. You can go at the speed that you want to. And connect a movement to the breath. Inhale and exhale. And then when you next come through to your neutral spine, in between cat and cow, I want you to pause there. And with your tailbone, so it's like your butt basically, with your tailbone, I want you to start drawing little circles on the back of the room, clockwise if you want a specific way to go. And so you're swiveling your hips now. And notice as you swivel, is there any one part of this circle that you're drawing that kind of gets stuck? Is there one place that's just not integrated or like as smooth as the other? For me, there's many spots along this circle that I'm drawing that for some reason become really angular. It's just funny. Notice it, don't judge. And then when you're ready, switch the direction of the circle that you're going in. And notice, how's that circle feeling? For me, it's harder. I don't know why. But you just notice. Does it get stuck anywhere? Make sure you're still inhaling and exhaling. Maybe it'll help to change the speed of the circle you're drawing. Maybe you intuitively did it the way that you prefer, and then the second way is the way your body doesn't prefer. All right, and then come back to tabletop. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring our left knee to the center, and we're going to take our right leg and cross it so that the right knee is in front of the left knee. If you were to sit back and the name of this pose is Gomukhasana. So we're going to do like Gomukhasana legs. And so your feet make a nice triangle behind you. So you're all crisscrossed now, right knee in front of left knee. And then return to tabletop. And then again, we're going to start drawing clockwise circles with our tailbone at the back of, like as if you were drawing on the back of the room. And notice how this is going. Are there any sticky spots? See if you can look forward while you do it and not back, always looking into the future. And now reverse and go the other way. And when you're ready, you're going to swing the right leg around and come back into tabletop. Feel free to do some cat-cows in between. And then we're gonna move to the other side. You're gonna put the right leg in the middle of your mat. And then you're gonna swing the left leg around so that the left knee is now crisscrossed in front of the right knee. So back of the left knee is touching the front of the right knee for Gomukhasana legs. Then you have this triangle. You could draw like a triangle in between your feet and your knees. And again, here, we're gonna draw those clockwise circles with our tailbone, swiveling our hips around. And then reverse the other way. And then when you're ready, return back to tabletop. And now is a great time to have a sip of coffee or a sip of water, because we are going to get moving in a second. All right. Come to standing at the top of your mat. We're going to do some sun salutations. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. And I like to put a little bend in my knees to really lengthen the spine. And then fold again. Actually, let's stay here for a moment. We'll do this first one a little bit slower. For my inhale, lengthen. I like to bend the knees. You're getting such a funny angle in the camera, but like stick your butt out because we're aiming for a long spine. And you're gonna walk your hands, your fingertips forward. I don't care how bent your knees are because you're aiming for that long spine. And look forward a little bit. And once you feel like, okay, I can't possibly make my spine any longer, you can bring the hands back. Doesn't matter where they're going. And then I want you to slowly straighten the legs to the extent that you can and open up the hamstrings just a bit. It's early. Maybe we just woke up. So it's natural. It's so natural to be a little bit stiffer in the morning. Okay. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. You're going to step back with your right foot and then your left foot. And so I always offer loads of modifications here. Put your knees down and do knees, chest, chin. If you are looking for a more invigorating, like intense option, do the plank to Chaturanga and up dog to down dog. If you do knees, chest, chin, you lower to the ground. You do a cobra and peel up. Ooh, that feels so nice. And then move through tabletop and down dog. And we'll be in this down dog for 5 breaths. Experiment with both those modifications if you've never, or both those options if you've never tried. And see if one feels better, if one feels like it's just clicking for you, work with that. Eyes look forward in between the hands and walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Again, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, hands to heart center. So now, instead of doing that slowly, keep thinking all of those things, but I'd really like us to connect one breath to one movement. So your breath is initiating the next thing. I'll say the poses, but feel free to do it at your pace, to your own rhythm. Okay, here we go. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step it back. For Chaturanga, feel free to put the knees down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. And while you're here, knees can be bent so that hips can reach up and back, just like our lengthened spine in our forward fold. Heels do not have to be touching the floor, but they're reaching for it. So your hip bones are reaching up, heels are reaching down, sides of the waist lengthen, and fingertips push down. Hands are shoulder width apart or a little bit wider. Feet are hips width distance apart. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bring your feet in between your hands. You can walk or hop them. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Step it back. Chaturanga. Your back bend, up dog or cobra. And then downward facing dog. 5 breaths. And you do all the things. You might feel your feet energetically moving away from each other. They're not actually going anywhere, but they're moving out right and left to really engage the legs. Maybe the hands are almost rotating and turning so that shoulders could face each other. They're not going anywhere, but the muscles do it. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, get the feet between your hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we're going to come down now to a comfortable seat. Any seat that you like. So you can be sitting crisscross applesauce, as I say to my students, like this. Or you can be sitting kneeling. Take a sip of your water, a sip of your coffee. And then what I'd like you to do, oh, you could be sitting on your blanket also. I should have shouted that out. What I'd like you to do is to goal post your arms or cactus your arms like this. So almost like if you were leaning against something. Elbow, shoulder, chest, shoulder, elbow are all in line. Okay. So then what I want you to do, you're gonna reach your elbows away from each other to feel a spread in the upper back. And then I want you to draw small circles with your elbows in the air. And try not to alter anything about your arms except for those small little circles. And notice, are there any sticky spots here? I find both the shoulders and my hips where if I have a tense day, if I'm stressed out, that's like where all my tension goes, especially shoulders. And maybe you want to draw bigger circles with your elbows. Or maybe you want to keep it small. And then I want you to go in the opposite direction as well. And notice where are the sticky spots here. And let's see. It's kind of like our shoulder blades are giving our back a massage. Yeah. Okay, and then lower your arms down. It's tough to even just keep your arms up like that. And then I want you to extend your right arm, bring it to the center, and bring it across your body. And then you're going to take your left hand and you're going to gently glide your right hand over to the left for a nice outer shoulder stretch. And then come through center, and you're going to take the left arm out, bring it to the center, bring it across the body, and then the right arm or hand will just gently glide it over to the right for a nice outer arm, outer shoulder stretch. And come to center. And now, extend the arms out. Bring the fingertips even further and further and further away. Stretch them away so that you feel maybe an opening in the front of the chest. And take a look at your hands and make sure that they are in line with your shoulders and not a little bit forward or too far back. See if you can get everything aligned. And then, as your fingertips are pulling away from each other, see if you can pull the center of your chest, like your breastbone, or like if you're wearing a necklace where it would fall. See if you can bring that through the shoulders and up as the shoulders gently glide down your back. Fingertips are spreading away. This part of your chest now has maybe a little bit more space to rise up through it. And then start to draw small circles or big ones, your choice, around, and notice is there a sticky spot, and maybe you linger this time in the sticky spot and work through it and go back and forth and back and forth. And then go the other way with your arms. And make sure, check in, is the crown of your head still reaching towards the ceiling? Or did it dump forward? And just see if you can make minor little adjustments. Okay. Bring the arms down. Take a sip of your water, your tea, your coffee. And then I'll show you this from the side. It's a really intense shoulder opener. So I want you to use your judgment and see if this is for you, if it's a part of your practice, or if you would like to modify it in any way. But I think it's called puppy dog. You're gonna start in like this tabletop position with thigh bones and shins, hips width distance apart. And then you're gonna start to crawl your hands forward and forward and forward until your chest, the front of your chest is making its way to the mat. And you can either have your chin on the mat or the forehead on the mat. Forehead is a little bit less intense for the neck. So you should feel an opening in the front of your armpits. So you can do it this way. I'll give you a modification if you're like, I hate this. So if this feels great, or if if you're working towards it. And by the way, you can be up here. You just want to feel the shoulder opening in the front of the shoulders. So, and this is just something I've personally been working on. It's been a real journey, like years. You can also be at a wall. If you're like, there's just something about the floor, I don't want to do that. You could be at the wall and do it. I don't know if you can see me if you have a wall space. You just do it with one arm or two arms. You'll find a lot of yoga poses, you can orient them in different ways, on the ground, standing, on the side. So experiment and see how you like to do your shoulder opening. If you were on the ground, I want you to come out of it by lifting slightly, backing your hips up, and coming into a child's pose for a few breaths here. All right. From child's pose, if you're ready, you're going to come into downward facing dog by lifting the hips up and back. Look forward. You can walk, step, or hop your feet in between your hands. You can actually start learning the hop by taking a giant step, seeing if you can, how few steps you can use to get to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up. Rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step it back. You can put your knees down and do knees, chest, chin, or you can do Chaturanga, Cobra or Up Dog, and then Downward Facing Dog. So I want you to choose the modifications that are best for you. So choose your own adventure. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Bring the right knee forward and step the right foot forward next to the right hand, the right thumb. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold here. Inhale, reach the arms up for a high lunge. Option, you can always put your knee down. Then here, we're going to tap the left knee to the ground and then come on back up. Then we're gonna open twist. Right arm to the back of the mat, left arm to the front of the mat. Reverse, use the right hand to reach towards the left leg, and bring the hands down. Step it back, knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga, Cobra, Up Dog, and Downward Facing Dog. Fingertips push down. Lift the left leg. Bend the knee and bring it forwards and hover it in between your hands, and then step the left foot next to the left thumb. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. So if I were to draw a line directly down the middle of my mat, my left foot would be to the left of that line and my right foot would be towards the right of that line. Or hips bone distance apart. So there's a little space between them. You're not on a tightrope. Inhale, reach the arms up for high lunge. You can always drop the back knee. And in fact, that's what we'll all do. You're going to bend the right knee, tap it to the ground, and then lift it back up. And if you can, keep the arms up. Then you're going to open twist the other way by reaching your left arm to the back of the mat and your right arm forward. See if you can keep the bend in that left knee. Reverse. And swing the arms down, step it back. This is your vinyasa. Drop the knees if you need to. And we meet in downward facing dog. And we breathe here. And we feel there's a nice bend in the knees. Feel if you need to pedal out the legs. As you reach the hip bones up and lengthen the sides of the waist. If you need to drop the knees and take a moment, by all means, do so. If you want to keep going, inhale, look forward, and then take a giant step, hop, whatever you like to do, whatever you're practicing, to get your feet in between your hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, drop the hips and reach the arms up for a chair pose. And straighten the legs, straighten the knees. Nice work. Hands to heart center. Take a breath. We're going to do that all again, but we're not going to stay as long in each pose. Again, we're going to link breath to movement, breath to pose. And what I'd like you to think is inhale is lengthen, inhale is rise, inhale is extend yourself. Exhale is draw in, fold, move down. So you have these two opposite things. Inhale out, up, lengthen, exhale, fold, inward, draw in. Okay? We're going to start by standing at the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up, rise. Exhale, drop the hips, chair pose. Fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step it back for Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, draw it forward and place it down on the mat. Inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up for high lunge. Option to keep back leg down. Exhale, bring the knee down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, open twist. Inhale, tip back for reverse. Exhale, fold forward. Windmill the hands down, lower to Chaturanga. It's a super long exhale. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. If you need to take extra breaths, I should have said that. By all means, take the extra breath. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, bring it forward, step it next to the left thumb. Inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring the arms up for high lunge. Exhale, tap the back knee down onto the mat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, open twist. Left arm to the back of the mat. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill the hands down, frame the left foot, step it back for Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. If you can, stay in down dog and take a moment to return to calm breath. If you need, drop the knees, come into a child's pose, and return to the breath there. And we find calmness, or we seek it, even in these most challenging poses. We know they're only temporary. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, get the knees between the hands, any way you want. Inhale, lengthen here. One of your really good lengthens. And exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Ooh, I forgot a chair pose. Ooh, lucky us. Okay. We're gonna do that one more time. And the breath is gonna initiate the movement, so it's gonna go a little faster. Inhale, reach the arms up, sink the hips. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, reach the right leg up and back. Exhale, bring it forward and step it next to the right thumb. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, tap the knee to the mat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, open twist right onto the back of the mat. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill it down. Step it back, super long exhale. On the inhale, come up. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, bring it forward, step it near the left thumb. If it didn't make it, scoot it up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up for a high lunge. Exhale, tap the knee to the back of the mat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, left hand to the back of the mat for open twist. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill it down. Step it back. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. You made it. Again, drop the knees if you want to. If you are finding joy in moving your body and staying in this down dog, please stay and return to the breath. If you can find calm breath in these challenging moments here, maybe you can channel that off the mat. Maybe something that's really challenging you in your everyday life. If we could just remember, return to the breath. Breathe. Maybe we can transfer this skill to other areas off the mat. Inhale, look forward. If you're ready, exhale, bring your feet between your hands. Inhale, really good lengthen. Exhale, fold over the knees, and I won't forget the chair pose this time. Inhale, drop the hips, reach the arms up for chair. Exhale, stand tall, hands to heart center. Let yourself have a moment of rest here. Come into child's pose. Take a sip of water. Take a sip of coffee. How's everybody doing? All right. When you're ready, find yourself in tabletop, just like the beginning of class. Hands underneath shoulders and knees underneath hips. And then here, you're going to push down on the floor with your fingertips. And I'd like you to reach your right leg back and just put the toes on the ground. So you have one leg, like one plank leg and one tabletop leg. Okay. Option here, you can stay like this and just enjoy feeling that like good alignment, which actually informs me of a lot. Or you can imagine somebody looped like a belt around your ankle and just like lifted your leg up by the ankle, and you're almost like resisting them down. And so you have your right leg lifted. If you're feeling a little feisty this morning and you're like, that's not enough for me, you can lift your left arm, push down with the right arm, look forward, reach right toes away from left fingertips. Put the left hand down, return the right toes to the ground. Then you're going to spin the right foot so that it is now parallel with the back edge of your mat and the whole foot is on the ground. Heel and toes. And then you can either keep your left shin the way it is, or you could kickstand it out to the side a little bit and open up the chest. And just make sure left hand is still under left shoulder. And if you'd like, reach your right arm up for this like side plank variation. Then, if you'd like, just like before, you can lift your right foot for this variation of half moon with knee on the ground. You're pushing down with your left shin. And by the way, it's perfectly fine to keep that foot on the ground. If you have your leg in the air, you're stretching the right foot back as if you were stamping on a wall, that imaginary wall that was behind you. And you're reaching this right arm up. Maybe your gaze moves up. But wherever your gaze is, it helps to have it fixed on one point. Okay. Bring the right toes down again. Stretch the right arm forward, right hand forward, and bring it down to the mat. And return to your neutral tabletop position like you had at the start. And I'm going to talk you through the other side now. So we're here. And now the left toes step to the back of the left mat. And you can stay here and enjoy how this informs your alignment. Left inner leg line is spiraling towards the ceiling. Hands are pushing down, you're looking forward. If you'd like, as if I had a belt around your left ankle and I lifted it, but you were still resisting me a little bit, your leg can lift. Push down with the fingertips. If you want, if you're feeling feisty, like I said, you can reach the right fingertips forward. Push down with the left hand, lift the back leg, look forward, reach right fingertips away from left toes, and then put the right hand down, bring the left toes down, but keep the left leg extended. Then you're going to spin the whole left foot down, the heel down, and bring it so that it's kind of in line with your your right foot. And then you can stay like this, or you can kickstand your foot out like 45 degrees to the side. It kind of helps with balance. And then make sure that your right hand is underneath your right shoulder. And you're going to open up for this side plank variation with knee on the ground. And if you want, reach your left arm up. Keep your shin on the ground, push down the bottom leg. Look forward, maybe bring your eyes up to your left hand. This is a great option if someone calls out side plank in a class and you're still building strength in the shoulder carriage, or you're working on good alignment, or you're working on your balance. It's a great option to put the knee down. Okay, option to lift the left leg for this half moon variation with knee on the ground, shin on the ground. You imagine your left foot is stomping on an imaginary wall behind you. It's flexed and it's pushing. Left arm's reaching up, right shin is pushing down. Okay, come on back down. Return to that tabletop position. Have a sip of your water. And then we're going to come to laying on our back. And I'm going to offer up some bridge poses if they're a part of your practice. So you're going to lie down. And your knees, your thighs, your shins, they're going to be hips bone distance apart. Like your true inner hip bone, not outer hip. Feet are flat on the floor, knees are bent. Then, option, it's going to kind of feel like you're sticking your butt out into the ground. So you're, I always forget if it's anterior or posterior. I think it's anterior tilt of the pelvis so that your tailbone's kind of like now pushing into the ground and you have a little bit more of an arch in your spine. Then you're going to lift your hips up. And then snuggle your shoulders in. You could hold your ankles. You could grip the edges of your mat if you're practicing on a mat and then sort of like feel yourself pull the mat apart. You can clasp your hands under and stretch the upper arm bones apart. I will let you decide what arm variation you'd like. But with your legs, you feel your heels dragging back and your pelvis lifting so that your chest is coming forward and your hip bones are moving to be the highest point in this pose. Okay, stick the butt down and come down. Let's do one more of those. Take a breath. Pelvis grounds down. Hip bones plug in so that you have that nice arch in the low back. And then you're just going to leave it. You don't need to manipulate that in any way. You're going to bring the hips up. Arm variation of your choice. Snuggle the shoulders in. And heels drag back as you lift your hip bones up. And breathe. See if you can stretch your upper arm bones apart. If you're gripping the mat, you feel you can rip the mat in half. Don't actually rip it. Just to feel that widening in the upper back and lower down. Okay, hug the knees in. If you'd like to, you can take a happy baby. And then rock up. Feel free to rock along the length of your back if that's something you like. And rock up to a seat. And then for a hip opener, I'm going to offer up Gomukhasana. And I'll talk you through that. If there's another hip opener you'd like to do, like figure 4, pigeon, like that, by all means. They stretch different parts of the hips, but that's okay, it's your practice. Gomukhasana is a real challenge pose for me. I don't know why. Some poses come easy and some poses definitely do not. So if you want, here's where you could use your blanket. And if you're doing Gomukhasana with me, I'll talk you through it. You're going to we'll do the right leg on top. So just like at the beginning of class, you're going to start in a tabletop, move the left knee to the center, and you're going to swing your right leg so that you're around, so that your right knee is now in front of your left leg, and you're going to make a triangle with your feet, and you're going to sit back down in between your hips. Feet. And if you want to, grab the blanket and bunch it up and sit on top of that blanket. And you'd want to do that if you feel rounding in the back. If you elevate the hip bones a bit and you straighten out, not straighten out, but if you restored the spine to its neutral, natural curves, you actually deepen the hip stretch. So for some people sitting on the blanket, myself included, it deepens and it intensifies the stretch. And if you remove the blanket or the height underneath your hip bones, your sitting bones, it takes you out of the pose. So you can stay here. This is quite intense. If you want more, you can fold forward over your knees. And you can stop along the way at any point. Sometimes it's nice also to take, if you have another pillow or another blanket, use that as like a bolster to kind of drape yourself over. And you breathe here. I had a teacher who used to always say, don't lament your tight hips. Think of how many years it took them to get this tight. Think of all the hard work and the things you did. And honestly, we get tight after we work hard. And hopefully this brings a little bit more balance. But don't lament them. You worked for those tight hips. Okay. Inhale, lengthen to come out of it. And then rise up. Extend the legs here by rolling back with your hands on the ground. And then here, you could stay on the blanket. I love to stay on the blanket for this. We're going to put a slight bend in your knees, and we're going to reach forward for Paschimottanasana. Wherever the hands land is fine. And it's just like our inhale, lengthen at the top of the mat. We're just oriented a different way. So inhale, lengthen. Walk the fingertips forward and bring the top of the breastbone, right where you would have a necklace or something, down to the extent that it goes. And then here, if your knees are bent and if you want to work on lengthening the hamstrings, you're gonna straighten the backs. You're gonna lengthen the backs of the legs. And fold forward here if you'd like. And breathe. I thought I saw my cat. Okay, inhale, lengthen, come on up. Exhale, bring the knees in, and we're going to do Gomukhasana on the other side. So last time, if you were doing it with me, your right knee was on top. So this time your left knee is going to be on top. Bring the right shin, right thigh, right knee, a little bit towards the center. And then you're gonna bring the left leg around so that the back of the left knee touches the front of the right knee. And then make a nice triangle with your feet so that you can lower your hips down in between. And this side might feel totally different. Adjust your blanket if you need. That's what I need. You try to get your feet kind of even. And by that I mean in line with each other. But it's a practice. And here, if you want to intensify the stretch, you crawl your fingertips forward and you fold forward over your legs. And actually, as you reach the hip bones back and kind of restore that lower back curve, and almost like you're sitting up tall, that intensifies the stretch. So you can kind of adjust the intensity as needed. You're in charge. So if you want to really deepen the stretch, you'd sit up tall. And like I said, rounding the lower back actually brings you out of it. And so that's one reason why you lift the hips. Bonus points if you can sip your coffee in this pose. And you breathe. And then to come out of it, inhale, lengthen, rock back, stretch the feet forward. If you want to shake the knees out a bit, do so. And we're going to come to Shavasana, and I'm going to offer up, if you're interested, you can take your blankets, your pillows, whatever, fold them up as high as they'll go. Ooh, this is good. Okay, then you don't have to come into it this way, but you're gonna put your pelvis up on it. Make sure it's stable. You don't want to feel like you're topsy-turvy. But if this feels good, take Shavasana here. If you have like a stable prop underneath you, feel free to lift one leg, maybe lift both legs. You can put your legs up the wall. Some people love, if you have a wall available, some people love to take Shavasana with legs up the wall. If you don't, you can just float them like this. And if you're like, I hate that, that's fine. If you have legs up the wall, it looks like this. You put your butt up against it. And if you like this, please take Shavasana here. Stay here for as long as you like. Hold the whole time, or whenever you're ready, take your favorite Shavasana position. It is totally fine. We'll be here for a few minutes. Start to bring some awareness back into your body, your fingertips, maybe you wiggle them, your toes. If you have your legs elevated, your feet elevated, gently bring them back to the ground. If you're lying on your back, roll to one side and pick yourself up to a comfortable seat. Sit tall. And take a moment to reflect on the challenges, both physical and mental, that you presented your body with today, your mind with today. And even just showing up is rising to the occasion. And it's a journey. Performance doesn't matter, it's the effort. What it looks like, the outcome doesn't matter. It's the process. And just have some love and appreciation and gratitude for what your body was able to offer today. And thank yourself for showing some awesome self-care. Thank you for practicing with me, everyone. Namaste. And now, how accomplished are you for getting your yoga done in the morning? Now you can take on anything today. All right, guys. Enjoy your Sunday. Bye.